Welcome to Wine Club. This is a playlist where I drink good wine while I whine about a bad book. And today we are drinking this Primitivo by Layer Cake. So Primitivo is basically the Italian Zinfandel. So you should get a lot of cherry, tobacco, some vanilla, pretty fruity, as well as pretty spicy. And I'm definitely getting that spice on the back end is, whoo. That's a punch. All right, and the book we are going to be whining about is, unfortunately, Someone in the Attic by Andrea Mara. My apologies if I'm mispronouncing that last name. I do want to give a warning that there are going to be spoilers in this review. And like I say in all my reviews, this is solely about the work and not about the author as a person, as I'm sure she is lovely. But let's go ahead and see what this promised. You thought you were home alone. Anya is enjoying a relaxing bath when she hears a noise coming from the ceiling. Through the open bathroom door, she sees the attic hatch swing down, and a masked figure drops to the floor. 30 seconds later, Anya is dead. You're not afraid of being alone in the dark. You're afraid you're not alone. Across town, Anya's old school friend, Julia, sees an online video of a masked figure climbing out of an attic. She suddenly realizes why the footage is eerily familiar. It was filmed inside her own house, in a luxury-gated community designed to keep intruders out. And now, your worst fears are coming true. Why would a stranger target Julia? Unless, of course, it's not a stranger at all. So this book belongs in an attic, so no one has to read it. Ugh. Yeah, I need another one. So the biggest problem with this is that Julia, our main character, frustrated me to no end. Creepy TikTok videos are a major plot point of this book. And not once does Julia ever think, maybe I should install my own cameras in my home. That truly took me out of the story. I hate when books have idiot plots and require all the main characters to make the stupidest decision possible just so the plot happens. If we needed to get around that, have the antagonist be better than Julia. Have them cut the power to the house, or be savvy enough to remotely turn them off. If they're Wi-Fi enabled, cut off the Wi-Fi. Or even spray paint the cameras. Just give me something besides her not doing the most simplest of things to solve this entire mystery. And she is not supposed to be stupid. She's a millionaire. She's supposed to be smart. She can afford cameras, but just for whatever reason, never thinks of this logical solution. Now, no one else in the book gets off scot-free either, because nobody else does. And like I said, there's going to be spoilers in this. Someone else has already installed cameras in her house. So someone else was smarter than her, even though she's sitting there being like, oh, well, I should figure out this mystery. How is this person doing this? But she doesn't, because she just gets more and more annoyed that when she tries to contact the TikToker who's making these posts, they delete their account. She just does not know what to do to capture this person. She even has a housekeeper who comes over and watches the kids and tidies up the house. And she goes and yells at this poor woman because surely the housekeeper let someone into the house that she wasn't supposed to. It's all her fault. This idiotic housekeeper must have opened the door to someone or were duped and let in someone into the home under false pretenses. Again, Julia, you know what would solve this little mystery? Pointing a camera at either your front door or your attic door. How about both? You can afford both. Or put something underneath the attic door to block it from opening. But no. Give me something. Give me some reason why she didn't even try this, besides it just never occurring to her, because I can't take her seriously. My God, we're 2 minutes in and I'm already... So then there's also the fact that her children tell her they think someone lives in the attic or comes into their room at night, and she's all, no, they're not. But, okay. I'm not a mother, but I babysat for one family for many, many years. If one of those kids told me that they saw someone in their room standing at the edge of their bed watching them sleep, I would pick them up, hold them to my chest, and run out the front door and call 911. Like, I would not sit there and be like, oh no, you're imagining it. Like, if your kid is that adamant that someone's watching them, maybe someone's watching them. Okay, so let's actually talk about the book. So our story starts with Julia and her family moving back to Ireland, and they hint that, like, they basically had to run away from the States because of something that their daughter did. We won't know for quite a while, but the hints are being peppered in. So Julia and her ex, Gabe, share this new house as well as an apartment, and then they just swap where they sleep so that their kids can always stay in the house. They have a pretty amicable relationship, even though Gabe is kind of useless and they've been divorced for like 10 years. Like, Gabe is the whole, he's got an artistic soul. And that means basically Julia has to pay for everything. I mean, on the one hand, she can afford it, but on the other, what a waste of a father. Like, oh God, he doesn't contribute anything. Which, on the one hand, she seems fine with. That is her choice. But I would be super frustrated not only having to pay for my own children, but also this man-child who I'm not even married to anymore. Like, go get a regular job, man. So then tragedy strikes when Julia's old friend Anya is found deceased in her bathtub. The police rule it as an accidental drowning, as Anya had been hitting the sauce before getting into the tub. But again, we already know that it's no accident. The jacket cover copy gives that away. And honestly, these homicide detectives just need some retraining. Everyone in this town is an idiot. I think there's something in the water. So Julia and her other, high school friend, they've been childhood friends. Her name is Eleanor. They hear about Anya. Eleanor actually seems kind of sad, but Julia is strangely not affected. She didn't like Anya, and they've pretty much been frenemies the entire time. They were bonded through Eleanor and then their other friend, Donna. Donna died, I think, 10 years ago, and they've all felt a lot of guilt about it. Again, cryptic little hints, much like why they had to leave the States. They all feel guilty, but we won't hear why until later. Unlike the book, I'm not going to leave you in suspense. When they were teenagers, Donna liked Gabe, even though he had just dated Anya and seemed pretty interested in Julia. And Donna was kind of a sad schlub and kind of quiet. And one night they go to this party as Donna has decided it is time for her to make her move on Gabe and let him know that she likes him. But instead, she ends up getting really drunk and, for the first time, she does not know how to handle her liquor. And so eventually Anya wants to leave the party and go somewhere else. She finds Eleanor and Julia and tells them that she saw Donna leave earlier. So they hop into a taxi and drive off. So then Donna is walking around trying to find her friends. She tries calling her brother and gets disconnected. So she goes up to I don't know if there's a rooftop patio, or she's basically way upstairs and falls off the building and falls to her death. So it's not like they pushed her or anything, but they truly should feel guilty for leaving their friend behind who was drunk for the first time. Honestly, these girls are terrible friends to Donna. I felt so bad for her. So, anywho, Julia and Eleanor start to wonder, are these creepy TikToks related to Anya's death? And they start getting, these threatening notes and start to wonder, if this is revenge for what happened to Donna. Spoiler alert, it's not. Because what's really happening in this boring-ass book is that Julia had worked with Anya years ago, and Anya had an employee that was stealing clients from her firm. So Julia, who works basically as a professional layer-offer, created this plan so that Anya could rightfully terminate him. But Anya basically lost her cool and her temper and fired him on the spot, and he was able to sue her for wrongful termination. His name was Vincent Gale or something. I know it's definitely Vincent. And this dumb bitch who couldn't figure out how to put a Nest camera up in her own home can suddenly realize that, this guy's name is an anagram for another character that has been really fucking creepy the entire time and, sticking his nose in other people's business. And could it be the same person? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? She is able to figure this out by looking at his name on a piece of paper, but she can't figure out, how do I solve the mystery of if someone's breaking into my house? Because yes, Vincent is the guy behind these TikToks and has been working for this rental company that Julia gets her house from, so that way he could get inside with like his spare key and make these movies to torment her. Or it's not TikTok, you know what I mean. And why is he doing this? Because he holds her responsible for losing his job. How dare she play God? Come on. This plot is so fucking lame. And of course, as soon as he reveals his intentions, he goes from like kind of a weird guy to suddenly twirling his mustache and mwahahaing all over the place. Like, he lost his job because of his own actions and won a lawsuit against Anya. Let it go, my guy. Like, I would understand if he had not done anything wrong, and Julia's job of helping companies downsize had just impacted him. It's understandable. Like, he had done nothing wrong and still got the shaft for it and lost his job for no real reason, according to him. The corporate world blows. I would be on board with that. But it was just so over the top with his motivations and his actions. And he even has to make fun of Julia, which actually was kind of funny, because he has to finally step in and help her put the clues together. I mean, like, he was getting bored. It was taking her too long to figure out, like, everything that was going on, and he was getting tired of scaring her. Like, how incompetent do you have to be that a killer who enjoys scaring you even starts to wonder how long he's gonna have to keep doing it because you can't figure anything out on your own? But it also does make me wonder then, like, why she does the job that she does. Like, she helps companies lay people off, but also doesn't like to do confrontation. Like, and this was her company. It's not like a job she fell into. She should be very smart and logical and rational. And she should also probably have a pretty thick skin and be able to own her decisions. But we never see this side of her. It really didn't work for me that we have this whole Donna subplot playing against the real villain. Because the Donna thing, I think it's just there to be cathartic for Julia and Eleanor, but I didn't feel anything for this. It has nothing to do with someone being in the attic. It's two stories smushed together, and they just don't work. There's also this other, like, stupid subplot of Gabe taking out lots of money from their shared account. Again, she bankrolls him. He's all evasive when she asks him, and she's annoyed but also doesn't really grill him about these missing thousands of dollars. Like, girl, that's your money. Ask why he wired thousands of dollars to someone. But no, she's just gonna internally bitch about how weird, like, Gabe is being about all of this. Like, great, glad I get to read about it, but we're never going to have her confront him about it. So we do find out that his money stealing does have to do with their daughter and that whole subplot of what happened in the States that made them run away. And my God, is this subplot pointless and melodramatic and a little triggering and for no reason. So basically we find out that their daughter stole her friend's phone and texted this guy that the friend was talking to. And, you know, she was like, "Ooh, come over, I'm home alone." And then we find out the guy was a predator and came over and did bad things to the daughter's friend. The friend is now basically in like a facility getting help for what she went through. The friend's mom was going to tell the police about Julia's daughter's involvement, but apparently like Gabe stepped in and like smoothed things over. Kind of sounds like maybe he paid her off with Julia's money. And then he and that friend's mom got all buddy-buddy and cozy under the sheets. And, like, this is the best you're going to get from these names, as I am not opening this book to figure out what their real names are. So, the friend's mom now says that she's pregnant, and it's Gabe's baby. So, he was basically paying a lawyer with Julia's money because he doesn't believe he's the actual father. He does not remember sleeping with her and thinks that he was drugged, and so he wants a paternity test to be done. But don't worry, this is just a distraction, as we find out that the friend is actually completely fine. Nothing ever actually happened to her. The guy never came over. The friend's mom was just creating drama for fun? Like, I don't even think she's pregnant at the end. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Oh, and also, like, Gabe and Julia never told their daughter about what happened to the friend. They decided instead of getting into trouble with their daughter, they would just flee to Ireland. So the daughter knows that, like, her friend is not answering her calls anymore and stuff like that, but they never tell her what she did. Like, wouldn't you want her to learn from that and feel sorry and take accountability for that? Even though, like, it didn't end up happening, so I guess it doesn't matter. It felt very weird. And then even the, like, Donna subplot felt so contrived at times. Julia and Eleanor remember Donna had a brother named Andy, and, you know, one of Julia's neighbors is named Drew. Both Andy and Drew are nicknames for the name Andrew. They must be the same person. Oh my god! But no, they're not. It's just a lame attempt to make it seem like Julia can put together some clues, which I guess, again, she can because she could figure out that anagram. But I really doubt that she could even handle a shape sorter toy that is made for toddlers. Again, cameras. You cannot have a book set in modern times with TikTok and not have her figure out how to install a camera in her home. And then there's also another subplot, like there's subplots out the wazoo in this book. There's a subplot of one of the neighbor's husbands going missing. And, you know, he was having an affair, and could it all be connected to what's going on? I can't even give a spoiler on that one because I truly don't remember what happened in the end with him. Like, I don't remember if they even ever found him. No idea. That's how little I cared. Though I will say, like, all the subplots were tied up nicely at the end, because the ending is like the voiceover on a Hallmark or Disney movie, just because it was so saccharine, and it was basically like, in the end, we learn that friendship and love are the most important things. And we get an explanation for every single thing. I truly cannot remember what happened to this husband, but I know we did get a resolution. I just don't care to remember it. But, like, what is this? What is the tone in this? We have people popping out of attics. We have a dead best friend from high school that you guys let get drunk and fall off the roof of a building. We've got this husband going missing. We've got baby mama drama. We've got this daughter being awful. There is just too much going on in this. Just so, like, when the reveal actually comes, it could be a gotcha with the red herrings and that final reveal. Boo! Like, this book is just messy. And it's really bloated, even though it's so freaking boring. And again, most of the subplots are pointless or worthless distractions from the main plot. Like, yes, we get resolutions. I don't really care, though, because it doesn't mean anything. I really did not like this. I don't think I can really find anything positive to say about this read. This was a slog, and I hated Julia and her absolute inability to do anything productive or even use her brain for 1 millisecond. The villain reveal was stupid. The twists were stupid. This was just stupid and bad. I did end up giving it 1.5 stars, seeing as I did see this through to the bitter end. This is a book that I do think at least I will forget about quite quickly, and one that I feel wasted a great concept. The idea here is cool, it's just the execution that was a mess. This book really should have had, like, the hairs on the back of my neck raised. I should have been scared about what was going on and who was after Julie and her family. Why is this person breaking in and making these videos? But this was just frustrating. This wasn't even scary. I felt no tension, mostly because I kept thinking, good, take her jeans out of the gene pool. She can't even figure out how to lock her attic door. Like, God, these kids. I feel so bad for them. Like, between their father and her, these kids are screwed. In the end, I found this to be boring, repetitive, and just kind of a waste of time. If you do have any recommendations for books that are good about home intruders, please share those in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for joining me at Wine Club.